Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Gregicality Skyblock Edition. Um, Nothing's much changed from last time. I also tried to do the slime hammer, but it's been disabled. I also made this hatch, which was pretty simple. Um, just take two bronze tank, and I also finished this chapter. Let's see if anything. No. I also didn't end up making a sledgehammer, which is basically the same as a normal hammer, but it's renewable, so it acts just like a normal hammer. And I was about to go and gather the materials to make a forge hammer, because that's very useful. However, I thought that we should first explain the macerator, so you can actually use the macerator to double your ores. So let's talk about a little bit about the steam things. Here we have a steam coal boiler that we filled with water. We placed this tank down, we filled it up, and then we placed it in here. And now it's full of water. Since we're going to be using steam, of course we need water to make the steam. Then we also need fuel. And after it consumes some fuel and it reaches a certain temperature, it's going to start producing steam. Now, all steam machines need to, we've connected the macerator directly to the coal boiler, and it's going to automatically output. Otherwise, we would have used pipes, the same pipes we use in crafting recipes. So yeah, for now this will do. Also, if the boiler runs out of water while it has fuel inside, you'll see what I mean in a while. It's gonna explode, so you need to constantly keep an eye on it and add water. Eventually that process is gonna be automated with a steam pump. However, that's very expensive at this point. Like, it's not even worth to craft it right now. Not to mention that it actually requires pipes and stuff, which are also expensive. Now let's talk about steam machines. Let's go get an ore. So I pull up the thingy. Steam machines. Steam machines use power, even though we aren't producing technically any power, to do stuff. And for instance, if we wanted to use the macerator with this copper ore, we'd have to use 4.8 thousand EU. But we don't have power. How are we going to get that? Well, steam at this age, steam is equivalent to power. However, you need 2 times the amount of steam that you'd need power. For instance, in order to do this recipe, we would need 9,600 steam millibuckets, which takes a while to produce, to be fair. The small steam coal boiler produces 150 millibuckets of steam every second, so it would take 2 minutes or more to actually get the required amount of steam. So, also, this thing right here, it's not an auto output or anything. This is the exhaust of the machine, because steam machines need to exhaust, I guess you'd say, after they've completed a recipe. And if you stand in front of the exhaust, you'll actually get damaged, like half your health bar. So I tend to put it underneath. You can change that with a wrench. Let me show you. I have it on me. If you shift, right click, you can rotate the machine. But if you just click, you can move the exhaust. Also, you can move it above as well. But I tend to move it underneath. But for now, let's keep it there so I can showcase. Right then, let's put the charcoal, and it's gonna say there above that this fuel is gonna last for 25,000 seconds. Let's say 26,000. That's essentially 400 minutes. So that fuel is gonna last for 7 hours, at least from what it says. and it's also gonna start producing steam. As you can see, the bar here is starting. There's a red thing starting to appear. That's the heat of the coal boiler, and after it reaches a certain point, it's gonna start producing steam. And that point is at 100 degrees Celsius, which is roughly about here, I think. Yeah, so we'll have to wait. In the meantime, I guess we can keep making charcoal in order to never run out of fuel. And I think that I'm gonna make another coke oven. And I don't remember if you can actually use the same sides. For instance, if I would have to craft 9 less bricks, if I decided to make another crafting table, another coke oven. Also, let's go to sleep once more, like so. And also, let's look at our quests. The steam furnace, we're not going to craft yet. The alloy furnace is one of our priorities. However, I think we're first going to craft the forge hammer and the rock breaker, and that's about it. I think we're also going to need a steam compressor. But we're going to craft forge hammer, rock breaker, alloy smelter, compressor, and then we're going to get to making steel. Steel is basically the first, it basically unlocks LV. LV is the first tier of electricity and machines you actually get to unlock. So that's very crucial. And to be honest, steel is not too hard to get. The blast furnace required to make steel is quite expensive, at least in the early game, because it requires 132 fire clay dust, and it also requires a steam compressor, and that fire clay dust divided by 2, that's 66 brick and clay dust, something like that. Let's a stack of both essentially. And to get clay dust, you either use a mortar or a pulverizer. However, the pulverizer is going to take a while. And not to mention, to get brick dust, you actually first have to smelt the clay, which also takes a while. So it's just generally a very lengthy process. And I think I'm going to start doing it now. Also, as you can see, there's 2.2 buckets of steam in here. It's starting to produce. Here you can see the bar increase, and it keeps increasing. It also consumes some of the water. However, it consumes it very slowly. And how much? It takes about 10 buckets of steam to do the copper, so I'm not even gonna attempt to put it in right now. Also, I guess this would be a good time to show you how the bait thing actually works. So let's free the cow. Actually, no. Let's keep it in a bit longer. If I'm not mistaken, I could make a lead. Eventually, I'm gonna use something else to transport my animals. However, for now, that thing needs leather. So for now, I have to use a lead. So let's put you on a lead. Come with me. We're gonna take it quite a bit away. You'll see later. Why. And let's just station you here. Right then, now we take 2 wheat, we craft like that, and we get cow bait. What cow bait does, it will essentially spawn a cow, like a spawn egg. However, there's some delay and some requirements to it. If I place it down, it says the bait will work in the environment, move out of range so you don't scare the animals away. However, the reason it works is because I have grass around it, because you need to have, since cows spawn in plains biomes, you need to have grass around them. And you also need to have water around them. That's why there's the water source, not only for the farm. And after you do that, you need to move out of the way for a little while. And eventually a baby cow will spawn, and you have to wait for it to grow up. That's how I got that cow. So let's check up on our steam. We're at 8 buckets. Since the recipe takes a while, I'm gonna put it in, and it's eventually gonna complete. and before it completes, it's probably gonna produce enough steam to complete it. As you can see, it's draining. We've already drained 3 buckets, and now we're close to 4. And boom, it doesn't actually take as much steam as I thought. Maybe it takes exactly 4.8 buckets of steam. Because I know that if we do a steam turbine, that's how we turn steam into EU. That 640 buckets of steam turn into 320 EU. So 2 steam turns into 1 EU. So yeah, and now we have crushed copper. Oh, what do we do with this? You can either use a hammer to hammer it down to impure piles of copper, and then you can smelt that, or you could pulverize it again and get impure piles of copper, so you don't waste durability on your tools. I'm gonna explain these later. Or you could use a forge hammer, which does it for like 1/10 of the cost of the steam cost, to make it into impure, and it also doesn't use any durability. That's why I want to get the steam hammer, to have full automation essentially. Now then, the pulverizer. When you pulverize something, it says that you have a chance of getting something more, for instance cobalt. Let's also grab another random ore thingy. It says that we have a chance of getting antimony and flint dust. However, if we check our macerator, also let's take a couple more. If we check our macerator, it only has 1 output. Why is that? Because the macerators are tiered. You can see there's a steam macerator, a high pressure steam macerator, a basic, an advanced, and universal, elite 2, etc. And up till the MV macerator, the advanced one, you only have 1 output slot. But if you craft the universal one, you actually get 3. So you need to reach this point to actually start getting secondary outputs. So yeah. Also, let me show you this. If I sit right here. Also, Gregtech power is another topic completely on its own. It's very interesting, but it's very annoying if you don't know anything about it. For instance, when I first started playing Gregtech, I knew nothing about it, and I just continued with a quest book, and I really struggled a lot. So yeah, let's also just harvest the sugarcanes. And it turns out you can actually use 3 sugarcane to make 3 paper. I didn't know that, because usually you have to do this recipe: 3 sugarcane to 2 chad, and then 3 chad to 2 paper. So yeah, that was convenient. Let's see how this is doing. It's already made 16 more charcoal. You see, this isn't going through charcoal. I think it hasn't even gone through 1 piece of charcoal. And also, see, the bars is basically full right now, and it's making steam as fast as it can. Right then, let's also find our iron. You can just do Fe, because Fe is iron, in chemistry at least. And we need an anvil to make a steam forge hammer. To make an anvil, we need 3 blocks, 4 ingots. That's 31 in total. But in order to get blocks, we can't just craft them. We have to use a smeltery. So, if it takes 31 total, and also probably if you macerate magnetite, you get 4 pieces of magnetite. However, these don't give you 4 pieces of iron. After you process them, they just give you 1.3 pieces of iron. So you really don't want to macerate them. But iron, on the other hand, this is 26 iron right here. Let's see how much it takes. Yeah, it's the same thing. You see, this also eventually is going to give us nickel, which is very useful in making invar and all that. Sorry. And yeah. Now then, we have 26 iron. And we have to make 5 more. like so. Let's put these in here. I still have some bronze in here. I don't remember exactly what I was gonna make. However, in order to make the same forge hammer, I need at least 12 plates, plus 8, 14. That's 28, I think, or something like that. 6 times 2, 12 plus 8. No, 10. I need 40 pieces of bronze. That's why I held off from making them until I showed you how the mass rate and all that works. Because also, yeah, here's how it is to me. Because getting like 30 pieces of copper and 10 pieces of tin is it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult. Because look, I have to do this. That's just to get the copper. And then I also have to change it to gravel and then try and get the tin. So the more efficient we are with our resources, the better. So also let's put this here. And I think I'm gonna start making the blast furnace, at least gathering all the resources. And also one thing I forgot to mention was this. I'm finally using coal to smelt items instead of wood. And how I did that was take this lignite coal, which we get from gravel, and break it down to pieces. This lignite coal smelts 6 items, and you can uncompress it to 6 uncompressed lignite coal, each of which smelts 1 item. So it's very easy, you don't have to do any math. Let's also check this. Let's put a couple more, like so. And yeah, I'm gonna keep processing iron, copper, and tin, as well as get the clay and the bricks necessary, and I'll be right back. Alright, as I was grinding for the materials to make the blast furnace, here's all the clay I'm gonna need, and I'm starting on the brick. I also want to make another coal coke oven, so I also got more bricks right here. And I remembered that you can actually use creosote oil to smelt stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And 1 bucket of creosote oil gives you allows you to smelt roughly 32 items. So it's really useful when you're crafting something, when you're smelting stuff like bricks, etc. So you don't have to waste your wood or your coal. So yeah, that's what I want to say. Also, I want to check out the recipe for the actual blast furnace. It's just 7 iron. And right then, I'm kinda split on the matter, as you could say. Because we can either craft a cauldron, then that takes 14 iron, but eventually we're gonna need that. Actually, do have, where is it? Or we could just smelt the 28 iron, then put it in the smelter again. The only way to get blocks is through the smelter. So, I'm not quite certain. But firstly, I need 4. I should finish with the bronze. I need 4 ingots, and yeah, I should probably make a cauldron. I think it is. Let's just see right here. FD. Let's magnet that. I do have 49, don't I? Yeah, I suppose I do. Also, here's some of the coke bricks. Let's split this like so. And yeah, now I'll continue with processing copper. By the way, this has gone through, I think, 1, maybe 2 pieces of charcoal. Also, it's starting to backlog on Steam. And also, every time it goes through a piece of charcoal, it has a chance of producing these ashes, which are particularly useful. They are only used in forestry as well as fertilizer. Fertilizer not being too important in that. So, and also you can extract like small piles of just random, I guess, materials which aren't useful. So, yeah. This is processing that copper. I also ended up just using the macerator to process the impure files and stuff. Rather than, oh, yeah. Let's see how it is going. It's halfway done. And yeah, let's see. What does it take? I think this is the requirement. I need resistor first and last ULV circuit, basic circuit. The basic circuit board is right here, which needs a wire cutter. Right. Okay, glad I caught that. What else does it need? Hard hammer. Yeah, we have that. So I'm also probably gonna make a wire cutter. Yep. And I'm gonna see what I can do with these. And other than that, this is also what I have to do, but it requires the steam alloy furnace. So I guess I have to get more drums. That is right then. Okay, I'll be back. So in the end I got the cauldron, and I just quickly wanted to demonstrate how you use it. So essentially you take your impure power stuff, you plug it in, and you get iron dust. Same with the copper, and then you refill it, and that's about it. I also got a bunch more wood, and it's filled up with creosote, so I'm gonna have to use it with smelting stuff, and generally just grinding granite, and also crafting the dark oak, also gathering wood for charcoal for steam. Also here I have 3 more ashes, and I'm still processing copper to get the bronze I need for the rock breaker as well as the forge hammer. So in the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you like the content, please let me know and tell me if you want to see more. Anyways, bye.